Welcome back to our weekly market wrap-up. The Indian equity markets extended their winning streak for the fourth week in a row, with the Sensex and Nifty posting modest gains. So, stay tuned, and by the end of this video, we'll unpack the key drivers behind these gains and what lies ahead. This week, Sensex rose by 0.5% while Nifty gained 0.4%. The mid-cap index added 0.2%, but the small-cap index saw a slight decline of 0.2%. The rally was driven by strong FII inflows, robust domestic demand, and improved investor confidence. Let's take a look at this week's key economic updates. India's consumer inflation for November 2024 slowed to 5.48%, down from 6.21% in October, coming within the RBI's target range of 2 to 6%. Meanwhile, the Industrial Production Index 22P grew by 3.5% in October, slightly up from 3.1% in September. Looking globally, the US CPI increased by 2.7% in November, showing a slight uptick from October's 2.6%. The core CPI, excluding volatile items, rose by 3.3%. In China, CPI inflation was just 0.2% in November, below expectations, with weaker global demand reflected in a slowdown in export growth. The European Central Bank completed its rate cut cycle, reducing its key interest rate by 25 basis points to 3%. Among this week's top gainers, ITI soared 26.5%, driven by expectations of increased government spending following a key election victory in Maharashtra. Delivery surged 17.2%, with global brokerage firm Macquarie maintaining an outperform rating. Varroc gained 15.8%, supported by heavy volumes and investor interest. On the downside, among the top losers, Godrej Consumer Products saw a 10.7% drop due to expectations of weaker margins in the December quarter amid subdued demand conditions. Honasa corrected 9.3% following strong returns last week on news of promoter buying. PPL Pharma saw a 9.1% decline, likely due to profit booking after strong performance in recent months. Here's what to watch in the week ahead. On the domestic front, India's wholesale price inflation data for November will be released on December 16th, along with trade balance data showing a merchandise trade deficit of $27.1 billion in October. Globally, the U.S. Federal Reserve will announce its interest rate decision on December 19th, while U.S. Q3 GDP data is expected to show 2.8% growth. China's industrial production and retail sales for November will be released on December 16th, and U.S. retail sales data will come in on December 17th. That wraps up this week's market highlights. Next week, the markets will likely be influenced by a mix of global sentiments, local developments, and investor participation. Subscribe to Tikona Capital for more insights and wealth-building opportunities from the themes of the decade. Visit us at tikonacapital.smallcase.com to explore thematic investments in the Amrit Kaal. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next week.